come back. FaZe, Guardian finished the first half with 18 kills. Nico around the 15 mark. And yet, despite having an 11-4 lead, lost 14-16. Huge comeback, obviously, from Renegades. It's now not their map choice. Does FaZe just rebound with all that experience, or is this going to get inside of their heads? Because sometimes top teams, when they're the favorite and they lose like that, it actually is going against them so badly that even their perseverance struggles.
And that's a curious point. It's like, how much longer do we consider MIBR and FaZe, those kind of names, favorites in matchups against teams who are constantly proving that they have more worth? I think if this game right here, Renegades can do it again in a best-of-3 series, if they do it in a 2-0 fashion. Sure, the last two times these guys went toe-to-toe, obviously the map we just saw, 16-14, and then at the major it was a close affair on Inferno as well. If this one, Renegades can extend that, if they can make it a 2-0 in a best-of-3 series, for their mentality, that's going to be huge. And then for FaZe, they're going to have to start questioning things. We obviously don't know how permanent this Adren addition is to this FaZe roster. See if anything changes after this tournament has concluded. Just having a look, obviously we had the stats from Starladder up on the screen before, talking about, you know, matches for these teams. Obviously for FaZe, they haven't been together for very long. They've only got 4 games in total on this map, and the only time they've lost it was actually to Australia, 16-13. So that's not a blemish on their record. For Renegades, they've played it with this roster 12 times. They have a 10-2 win streak, and if you look at the last 3 months, they beat Tyler on it. They beat Vitality on it, but lost to MIBR in that quarterfinal match, the major, quite significantly, 16-6. And I spoke to Gomez, the team's manager, after that game. He said, look, you know, we didn't know a lot about MIBR at the time. In practice, it was one of our best maps. We picked to our strengths. It didn't work out. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. So here, for FaZe to pick against Renegades, either they think it's their best map, or they think there's a weakness in this Renegades Dust2 that they might be able to exploit here. Looking at the names, no surprise that Nico is the highest rated player for FaZe on Dust2. Coming in at second, though, is Rain and Adren. So not Guardian on the AWP. More Riflers getting a lot done. And then for the side of things for Renegade, JKS towards the top, followed by Jacob and then Gratisfaction. So it's surprising not to see an AWPA. I guess JKS is a secondary. Nico also, you could argue, but not the primary, being within the top players on a map that we can tout as one where the AWPs can really take over. And for Renegades, Jacob needs to continue a big performance. He's the leader for them, statistically speaking, with opening kills. So see how he sets the pace for the boys. Liaz, however, he's down the bottom, not a map where he does find a lot of impact, but he has been given a lot more of this supportive role. So we're on board going into Upper Dark right now. Bit of utility in the hands of Gratisfaction that'll be limped on out towards the B bomb site, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Guardian, who's met with Olaf over towards the B doors. They're just going to attack. Flashes come in, and here they go.
Good shot, Guardian. JKS, the one he finds. He's not done there. Oh, maybe he is. Jacob from the car gets him down. Olaf, what an entrance.
Ouch.
And Rain's going to follow that up to get Gratisfaction. As Nico wants desperately to hold off the window and make his way to find Leas. He's the only one left. They all come through. Leas has nothing he can do about it. Leas goes down. So Nico finding that kill. But Olaf, man, oh man, that was stylish.
That was a very fast flank through Dark. It means once you're in that side as Renegades, you have to stay, you have to fight, and they're just pinned, really. The number disadvantage, there was no ways to take the jewels, and FaZe grabbing a pistol. They got 0 in that first map. Things are changing. It's FaZe Clan here. We'll be buying into the second round to defend against a full eco from Renegades. No one is upgraded other than Jacob onto a P250. Guardian prodding up mid with the scout. Shouldn't be too difficult for them to get anything done. We speak about these rounds, so you have a couple of options if you're going to go for a full eco. Just go for a full-on rush and hope that you can overwhelm a player who's stuck on his own. Play very slow, force them to bait out utility across the map. You know, run around, shoot your Glock, make it seem like you have a presence everywhere. Maybe you catch someone pushing. Renegades just want to go late through long here, and as I mentioned, there is no utility on the board, so they're going to have to hope that they can swarm Adren, maybe when he pulls out a grenade, maybe if he gets caught looking the wrong way.
I mean, it is an MP9, and it's a mid-range fight, I would call that. That's not super close up, so pistols, multitudes of them, could still win that.
As well.
Yeah, exactly. There's no one there to trade off of it, so I would say he's good for maybe even just one if they come out flying and fast enough toward him.
Have changed their tactic, though. They're going back towards Catwalk. Maybe they'll try and swarm Nico at middle, who only has this USP, but Cat, it'll be the play, and that's always a curious one because now you get opened up to a long range. Have a field day here. A fantastic job getting 2 kills. Has a chance to stat pad with more. Well, only get 3, and JKS will finish him off. So no plant here. I don't think you'll have time. I don't think they'll give him that liberty, and Nico will finish him off. They've picked up that M4 as well. Nothing lost. And Renegades, they'll buy on in. Have enough for AKs and utility. See if they want to take this as a fast-paced approach to kick things off, or if they want to go a little bit slower in the start of Dust2.
2-0 for FaZe. Again, they had a tremendous start on Train as well, but that didn't amount to much. Dust2. Guardian, AWP, watch for him to be around the mid doors quite a bit. He's on a scout right now, but he will be on the AWP when the time comes. For now, Nico's got it instead. JKS down to the underpass with Jacob.
This is interesting 3-man B play from FaZe early. It's maybe going to help ward them off as the game progresses. Oh, they've done a 3-man B stack early. They've done a 2-1-2 instead of, the standard 2-3 split. So if Renegades go for the B play, which it looks like they're going to do, and they're unable to punish this stack, that's definitely going to play into their minds in the later stages. Mid to B smokes coming out right here. They've done the double. One towards CT, one to cover off B hill, so they can push it out and get a little bit more territory without too much fear. Obviously, always having to be scared of the player on top of the CT spawn box, but nobody there. And meanwhile, Adren is getting sneaky towards the long push, so watch for that on the radar for a potential flank as they hit the side.
A double smoke angle allows him to walk in further. Olaf's got Grat. He's got 3 in the round. Finally gets silenced by Liaz, and then he's suddenly finds himself alone because his teammates have all gone down. It's a plant default. That one's done for sure. The smoke on window, they can't really afford to push through one by one, so Rain will wait for his teammates to get around into better positions. And they'll go together, not together enough. The smoke at door gave him a place to hide. Rain thankfully solved that, as he did do damage onto Adren.
Aim stars get their AKs. They scavenge, well, they don't need to scavenge. Oh, because Nico had it the entire time. So no danger right now for FaZe Clan in any regard. The plant has allowed Renegades enough money if they want to go for a buy again. You can see that they've opted just for the pistol upgrade with utility behind it. They don't want to take the aim jewels with AKs alone because they could have all had an AK-47 with head armor. It just wouldn't have been brought with any utility to actually open up jewels. They would have relied on pure aim. Pure aim up against FaZe Clan, who are fully stocked. You've got 5 kits, 5 sets of head armor, 2 AWPs, 2 AKs, and an M4. And over towards Upper Dark with 3 players of Renegades again. Going quicker this time for this mid approach. They don't seem as fearful catwalk. You can see Azza's already jostling for position over there. So it is B as the early side of the map that Renegades want to target here. Weren't scared by the fact that there was 3 FaZe players there on the first gun round of the game. They're happy to go again.
Smoke out toward the entrance of B. He was trying to help his teammates. Olaf, but he only got 1. Guardian's done the task since. Couldn't flick fast enough to find JKS elevated by the stairs. Meanwhile, in middle, Jacob, he's got a shot on
he's getting away.
a deagle to Nico, and you're right, he has got away. Rain's gone by. He's got 15 HP. He needs to be very careful here. Rotation goes back to tunnels. They know that's the case. Rain knows he can get in. Rain knows he can sneak into the site, and he'll be alone. Timing is read perfectly, and Adren is able to trade just barely off JKS. 9 HP. But Rain read that so well, knew that the rotation had to go back from mid to tunnels, got inside of the site, but then, without being able to find the kill, turned around perfectly to find the player that was rotating.
Jacob would have got the shock of a lifetime there, not expecting anybody to walk through the smoke like that. That is a balls-out play, but a very well-educated one, right? You're bang on there in breaking down that situation. He's made a risk, but a risk with the knowledge behind it, and here, now Renegades have a buy on the board where everybody has the goodies that they need. Gratisfaction, the main AWP, will have the big green in his hands, and we're on board with Nico here, who's spreading down to lower dark with his AWP. Renegades, I know they're going to be very thorough at clearing this out with the flash, but if he steps like that, he's able to get a freebie. So it appears that FaZe have done their homework on how the default unfolds for the Renegades, using the utility against them. Was the signal to peak as opposed to hiding until it's in their face. And closed doors, Olaf there to continue to dictate this pace. We spoke about this early on that Train game. Doing inside stacks, they were doing gambles, they were doing aggressive plays. And, well, they were able to get an 11-4 first half versus Renegades on Train and still lost. So we have to see how this one plays on out. If they continue to have whitewashes of rounds, if they continue to make Renegades look silly and struggle, then we can start to get excited about going to that third map. Remember, this one, we've actually got something on the line. The winner of this game, straight through to the playoff bracket, 3-0. A couple of days off here in Shanghai, China. Get to explore, not only that, get to practice and watch.
Can't quite find the shot toward Cat. Going to make this 5-0. 2 players already inside of the A site, and they're closing in the map because they pushed all the way through to B. Guardian's gone back out toward middle. Chance they could get into the low tunnel, but that's not going to happen because Olaf gets behind them completely. And Guardian closes it with the final shot of the AWP. Yeah, spawn in the playoffs is absolutely true. This is our 2-0 matchup.
The other one going on right now is Fnatic taking on Vitality.
Give me an update.
Well, the first map did go in favor of Fnatic, and I know Nuke was getting very close there for a moment. I haven't actually checked back in a while, so let me just get the telephone device out to see what's going on.
Ooh, Guardian takes some damage. Smoke didn't bloom fast enough.
It was a 2-0 in favor of Fnatic there. They brought it right back on Nuke, and they were able to convert 16-12. So they'll be going through. They're the first team to make it through to the playoff bracket. After they failed at the major, they definitely fumbled at WSG, and now it feels like the pressure has been alleviated with those results. They're back to some promising form.
Asa wants to go through on that smoke, but doesn't want to do it alone, so he holds off, thinks better of it. Now I think this will be a drop to CT. Timer on that, though. That smoke's dissipating.
Yeah, this feels like it's been stopped in its tracks, right? They wanted to be able to swing out mid-speed as the attention was over towards Catwalk, but now when they come out, they have to go standard. Damage done. That Molotov is going to force them through a window. Jacob has no choice, low on HP.
Oh, he got a second one with that nade.
Rain is phenomenal on this B bomb site.
It is indeed. Still not convincing. It's down to a 2-on-2, surprisingly. Bomb recovered as well because they were down inside of the doors. Nico tries to fire into that place. An exact mention of the doors. Couldn't do it. Couldn't find anyone on the other side.
Flash and Molotov here. So the Molotov will land towards window. That's going to delay a little bit of time. Nico has a smoke that he can lob through the doors to open up another avenue, but they're going to pick towards
Oh, he sees him.
Can he spam through that? Will he hit the shot? Will he stand up? The smoke's going to go over towards the car. Will it bait out JKS? No, it won't. Very patient.
I think he actually maybe just wanted to smoke him in. Did he forget that that pillar was there? Still hit the shot. JKS goes down to 22. Unaware that Liaz is down below and slow to react. I must say, after the kill came through, it's Renegades getting their first round 5-1. They want to keep everyone alive. I say everyone, the last 2 alive. They do, because the bomb won't detonate before the reset. And they get an AK and an M4 carried over.
Should be a buy coming in from FaZe Clan here, even though Nico only has 3,400 in the bank and Guardian with 4K.
Actually, I think did they pull the op over? I think they did, and then they threw it across. Yeah, okay, so they got an op. That's even better.
But the issue here is there shouldn't be an AWP on the board for FaZe Clan, and they really opted to get those sniper rifles up early. They had a scout on Guardian on the first gun round. They had Nico and an AWP, and they've been using them ever since. But it hasn't been that alone. Rain's done a very good job over towards this B bomb site, getting multi-kills. Olaf's been very fluid in his positioning. He's been able to be a nuisance towards the mid doors. We've seen him in lower dark. And as the tactical timeout from FaZe Clan is slowly trickling down to an end, you can see the buy will be 4 M4s. They did actually get an AWP up in Nico's hands, so that means that Olaf, the player with 3,600, I believe would have been the one to drop it across, because I think Adren dropped an M4. Anyway, it's here nor there at this point, and right now they have 2 Molotovs, 4 smoke grenades, a bunch of flashes, and a singular HE to work with. So if Renegades can milk that out early, they can give themselves a bit of an advantage in terms of utility, but they want to go fast long, and it's a 4-man lean from FaZe over here. They're ready and raring for this, and they have to fight. The smokes and flashes come out, and we have a bit of a flurry. 2 opening kills to Jacob, but Adren answers back with 2 of his own, and now spamming for more. He has a chance to take down Liaz, and he can do it. Can he get another kill? Adren with an absolute lockdown towards long.
Brilliantly done. Switching to the pistol just to confirm the 4th kill. JKS all that remains. He probably won't get the ace just based on position, and Guardian's actually probably going to beat him to it, but spectacular effort by Adren, who's not necessarily been the most standout of players since joining FaZe. He's been rather mute. Hard necessarily to find your feet around such amounts of stars. Hard to find any room, but that time when he's given a position to anchor, makes no mistake about it.
When you do have the 4 players going across towards long like we just saw there from FaZe, that's an all-in, right? That's if anybody comes out long, you're going toe-to-toe. You're going to fight into the absolute death. And the fact that Adren can convert the last 2 with the USP, that's a bit of fluffing going on there from Renegades. He should have put himself at least in a potential 2-on-2 situation. However, gun rounds will ensue because they did win an eco or a partial buy earlier, as is going to be throwing flash so they can pick from lower dark, and it will just be the default again. This is what you tend to see on a round of Dust2. This is a very basic default. You have 1 player listening for long information. You have 2 players go to dark. Initially, they help towards lower in case of mid doors or catwalk pressure, and then he'll go back towards upper dark when he feels the threat is necessary. The lower dark player will flash them up catwalk so they can get control like we're about to see. Will they try and pick off this? It could be risky. He heard the scope and the smoke. That'll answer the question, but he could push through with a teammate's flash and be very disruptive because Renegades actually just want to get this cat control to force out utility and then potentially set up an execute. Rain wants to take this back at some point. So if they don't expect him to stay close, they're going to get caught with nades in their hands.
Rain ready. Nade in his hands. He's going to go through and do significant damage onto Jacob specifically, down to 53 even with armor. So pretty much landed on his noggin. Nico ready as well with flash that wants to go out now, but AWP, that's actually going to let him get aggressive on the peak. Knows they're going to be there, can't find the shot, has to drop off, gives up A main, or A ramp I should say as a result, but that's covered off by Rain. And he still has footing to get that M4 to cover at quad. Nearly caught with the flash. That's going to blind them, though. He knows it. He knows they're right there, right in front of it, and makes it easy in the end. Nearly cost him. Instead, works perfectly. Who's at middle doors once more? Left alive, excuse me. It's JKS. Just as last time, it's Guardian that likely is going to find him, and will with the AWP. 7-1 for FaZe.
Tantalizing play from FaZe early. They've got some really good gamble stacks. They know what's in the playbook of Renegades so far. The homework has been done, locking down the long play. They locked down the early mid to B and the B presence by doing that 3-man stack. The only round that they've lost was one where they were caught a little bit off guard by some aggressive pistols and some fantastic trade work from Renegades. Otherwise, it's been one-way traffic. FaZe Clan are here to play. And this is what we were hoping for, right? We need to see more of this. Cohesion, teamwork, understanding of the rotations on their T sides where we saw weakness on Train, and then they need to add that to the depth of their map pool. So you compare this to MIBR, where they look a little bit lost. At least FaZe on this half, they look like they know what they're doing. Renegades will take a pause here, talking through their potential options. The half is not done yet. We're only 9 rounds in. Well, 8 about to go into the 9th, and another pistol upgrade with a little bit of light utility behind it again. So far, their set plays, their set pieces haven't really worked. Maybe they can go a little bit more free-flowing so that they could... Oh, it looks like we've dropped on out of the Go TV there. I've still got it operational in front of me.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're very quick up catwalk this time. So the more free-flowing play, the territory they've been able to take, they're already up cat. Azra is selling a bit of a fake right now, and they do look like they want to go for a mid to B. There are 3 players from FaZe Clan playing over with the B side. Yeah.
Same play they wanted to do with the pistol. This time, Azra actually gets into CT. He couldn't drop off last time because they weren't ready. This could work, but Rain outside of the doors at B, at the box, is able to cut them off. And Guardian adds to that by taking the information and making good on it.
So they're 2 steps ahead right now. FaZe aren't 1 step ahead. They're reading them fantastically well every single turn. What do you think, Matt? Give us a scoreline prediction when you see this at 8-1.
Well, the last game was 11-4, and at one point, like 8-2, I think it was, maybe.
Yeah, but...
So... I don't know. Oh, Gratisfaction 0-9. He's been solid on the op roll. So that's a battle that they're going to need to start winning, or at least getting kills for. You're right, 1 kill as well for Azra. This is not looking ideal. I don't know. I think FaZe are going to wrap this one up pretty quickly. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think they'll make the same mistake twice.
It doesn't have the same nature about it as Train, because their T side, they can't get locked out in the same way, right? You think about the contrast of Dust2 to Train. Train is a map where you can't really get out into the choke points to find jewels. There's so many more avenues on a map like Dust2 for them to be able to do that, and they can just stand and fight. Whereas Train, you need a little bit more to set your teammates up to find the opening picks. I spoke about Jacob needing to be an influential factor in terms of opening jewels. He is normally the player who's finding the majority of opening kills for Renegades right now. He has only 4 kills on the board, and in this round he's dead. Long explosion coming in.
Nico. I wonder where the pit. They now know exactly where he is in his shot. Needing to rebolt the weapon, gives him away. Azza with 2, now he's getting alive, but goes down to range just after. His 2 still very important kills because it gets them in a 3-on-3, gets him a bomb plant down. Molotov in the sight, doesn't go far enough to get Leas out of position. Rain takes the battle though, 20 HP. For Leas, 32 for Rain. Nade takes JKS down to 29. That's going to help him further with the retake as Gratisfaction needs to get on the board. Tough position to be in. Finds the kill at Car. Otherwise, he was a sitting duck. That brings him into the advantage situation. JKS able to trade off of him. And on top of the site, he trades yet again off Lee. That's good rotations from him. Able to have his head on a swivel, and it's now 8-2.
And they got the AWP as well, so Grat can get that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to buy it without Azza dropping it and then having nothing left in his name. Jacob will have to have a scrappy purchase coming in here. Maybe Grat can drop him a Galil. Yes, he will do. So everybody's going to have some guns. I'm just going to take another look at those stats. You heard me talk about it before. This roster of Renegades, they've played this map 12 times. They've won it 10. They've lost it twice. One of those was to MIBR in the quarterfinals. We look at those map stats and we break them down of how they go in the fashions. This looks like this might be a slower round and how that kind of works for their CT and T-sided situation. They have won the majority of their rounds over those 12 games on their T side. So a 60% win percentage of T rounds to 40% of their CT side of rounds. Now, if we go deeper into those stat lines, you look at the good teams that they've actually beaten, because, to be fair, there aren't a huge amount of big names that they've taken. The only one that I would consider hugely formidable would be Vitality, and that was at the Major. And we're about to see a bit of action go down on B. They were posturing to go, but now Nico's rotated in with that secondary AWP, so it's going to be a battle here in a second. Gratisfaction's actually going to win that one. Yeah, so when they beat Vitality, they had an 11-4 first half on their T side.
Yeah. Well, they're going to need an 11-4 T side this time as well.
Just trying to look if there's any other games here that you can think of Renegades. They play Complexity, Rogue, Optic, Luminosity, INTZ, Space Station.
So not any of the top 10, shall we say.
It's just that Vitality game, right? And they lost to MIBR 16-6. And on that map, they did start on the T side as well, and they were only able to muster 5 rounds. So let's say they need more than 5. And Grat with a second big opening going towards that B-bomb site. And maybe a save call from FaZe here. That was a great shot.
Yeah, he's looking better with the op now. He was 0-9.
Getting in the groove.
8, I think. 8 makes more sense because they've won a few rounds with him. So now puts him at 3-10. Maybe it was 0-9. I thought it was 0-8. Could be 0-9. Died in every round except for this one.
That's always a horrible feeling.
Yeah, when you're dead every single round.
Yeah, I've always used to be dead.
I mean, if you're the entry fragger, it's one thing, but as the opper, that's another.
Yeah, I was just bad. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what mine was.
Jacob just spamming everywhere. You're right. The save call was made very early for FaZe.
Necessary as well. Look at their economy map.
Yeah, this is Renegades making a case to get back into this game. And just as they made it 11-4 after being down 11-2 at a point. Wow, Rain 17 kills right now. It's been a while since he's had these kind of performances. He used to. When the team was made, it was the dream team at the start. He used to be the top fragger.
Unexpectedly.
Consistently. Yeah. He just showed off the fundamentals. It's nice to see it's working out for him yet again. As I was saying, the Renegades, they had a late little surge of momentum to get a few rounds in a row on train. Maybe that's what they're doing now. Maybe they're posturing to make this a 2-0. Inferno is the third map. You can see it underneath the radar on the left side. You could even put in brackets after like trains finish. You could put the score there in brackets.
Yeah.
Some potential with that graphic.
You could have the logo pop up underneath to see which one's whose map pick.
It's lots.
And then it could go away at the end of freeze time.
Grat. Oh, he spotted it, but Nico did in turn. Clever little boost, but Nico firmly on his feet and on his way because he's got Catwalk killed. There's no need to stick around. He'll rotate immediately. Actually, I say that. Okay, he has. He's down below. I thought he was up on Catwalk. He is down below in CT, so he's going to watch the mid doors instead.
Surprising when they know that there's only one player over towards long because that's a Catwalk stack, right? They know that there has to be 2 players there. But they don't consider going and trying and pushing a Dren at pit because he's solo, right? I know that the long anchor position, you Molotov the doors, you smoke the doors, you can hold them off.
Yeah, he got 4 kills there last time.
Yeah. Well, that's when they tried to rush him. They tried to take his territory swiftly, but like Liaz has an opportunity there to walk out and have a 1v1 duel. Maybe that's something that Renegades could look to identify as they move forward.
7-2 at Dren, by the way. 4 kills in 1 round. It's not like he's had a lot of action, so you are right. They're not really doing much to take that position, and it is a very crucial one.
And now that they go in late, Nico's in a position where he can rotate. There's no time left really on the clock. They have to go towards A, and if Dren just stops this with 1 or 2 kills, that should be more than enough. And that's 2 big frags. You see the flash from Nico come in, more than ready to help, and Adren is doing a fantastic job at anchoring this pit position. And that's the round.
Yeah, bomb down, no one to recover it. JKS gone. Just as the left, and he's found by Rain. I think you're onto something. If you don't put pressure on A-Long early in rounds either, it means you don't have to go for... I mean, some teams used to put 3 players there at the start.
Yeah.
Just to win that exchange. It's like winning Banana. It's like winning mid in other maps. And if you're not doing that, you're letting the CTs actually spread out into their default sooner and getting set up to cut off other choke points. You need to at least set the tempo by putting pressure in that position. If you get someone out there, if you hold long and hold one in pit, you don't even have to do anything with it. You can just sit there and have map control. This time, I say that. Maybe they're thinking like we are and that it's due time for them to do so. Four players. 4 players go down toward long A and throw utility, realize there's no pressure, and now they'll fall back into their default yet again. If Renegades had gone fast toward B, they might have been onto something there. They're gonna catch, oh, Rain in tradition. Jacob's got to hit that shot.
I would really love to see a Dren push here, knowing how much of a flurry there is on the rest of the map, right? FaZe know that there's several players towards mid doors. They know that Catwalk's open. Obviously, you expect one player to be watching this, and normally Liaz is, but they're going back towards this mid to B. It was one of the things that worked for them on that low-buy situation. JKS has been doing this job as the upper dark lurker for a very long time. 4 players out in B. Rain, he'll get 1, but now Guardian on the platform position has a lot of work to do. Drops the bomb. There's still a minute left, so they can get that. But, ooh, Nico's quick through lower dark here. He might put up a fight. Rat has set up towards back of plat, so he'll be ready for that. That has been mitigated now. Now we have a retake situation. Grat offered up a kill. Will miss. There's enough utility on Liaz to hold off the doors with a smoke and Molotov for as long as he needs. He's going to be pushed out of position, and now caught in transition. He'll make the kill. The smoke towards tunnels. He has another chance here. This is really good play from Gratisfaction. And Liaz up close and personal with the smoke. He's going to get picked off from window. This becomes more than possible now because Grat, he's only got so many positions to watch. He needs Jacob to do all the work here. He needs Jacob to make the frag, and he's going to miss another shot. Jacob's pivoted, and he saved the round. That got dangerous for a few seconds there as Olaf is left with no option but to save. And Renegades continue to fight.
Yeah, they do fight back. And keep in mind that's after, what was it, 2 in a row, and then what would have been formerly a reset. So keeping the economy rolling, 9-4. Looking like we could have a similar halftime scoreline. Maybe not, though. FaZe aren't exactly well off. They do keep the 1 AK for Olaf, as you say. Got away, stayed alive. Gives Nico a chance to buy, but he's already bought out a CZ, and there's only about 36.50 for Guardian, 29 for Adren. You can see it on the board, even less than that for Rain. So timeout called because they need to figure out exactly what to do and do it now.
And once again, this is the talk about, you know, the hard reset on the winning team. You can argue that, well, no, you can't, because I hear people try and make an argument that, oh, yeah, you know, you shouldn't get wiped out. Why shouldn't you get wiped out? If you're getting destroyed, why should you be propped on up? Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be mechanisms to help them. There should definitely be a couple, but it seems like a little bit too much for me. Like, I don't want to move into this type of lifestyle in Counter-Strike like we have in the rest of the world right now, where you get a trophy for playing a sport for just participating. You win or nothing. We're not here, we're not playing reindeer games, we're playing actual matches of Counter-Strike for cold hard cash where people are getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars to be the best in the world. Let's not reward losers.
Shot from Nico, gets around and gets Jacob. Nico's going to stay on Catwalk as well. Bit of a risk. JKS firing back at him, but has it directed in front. If he turns his head, he could get caught out. Olaf tried to complement the push. And JKS did very well to get 2 kills before going down. Because if Olaf actually got Nico still alive and they pinched together, it was a slaughter going against the Renegades. Minute 20 seconds, Adren now takes the turn to go out toward Catwalk. Nade in their hands. He just has a pistol, but he gets away with it. Nearly gets a gun for it, but they put pressure on, smoked off, tries to run, and he's going to stay alive. Still a 2-on-2. Stays up close as well with the pistol.
Flank, though, it's coming in, and Olaf has an AK, so they're currently trapped in Catwalk. They can't be lackadaisical about this retreat and still spamming the smoke.
I mean, you say trapped, but it's a USP on one side. If he goes down, exactly that opens the door.
Olaf should definitely go for this. He has a real shot in winning this round. The bomb is going to get planted safe on towards the bomb site. As we can see, Olaf coming up through CT spawn. 27 points of health to his name, but it doesn't really matter because JKS and Liaz are both low. Rush towards CT. He doesn't win, and JKS will pick off of that, gets the kill, finishes the round. What started in a potential very dangerous situation with Nico getting a kill and picking up an AK-47, his favorite weapon. ends in Renegades clawing for the 5th. We're on round number 15 now. Score is 9-5 in favor of FaZe Clan on their map choice.
One better than Renegades accomplished on Train.
I don't know how they have the resilience to do this, to battle back into these situations.
Well, again, it could be an economic study in the fact that the resets didn't cost them as much each time. This could be a perfect game to really analyze that.
Well, one of the things that I theorize from that, Matt, is if every round is the same, obviously they're not. I'm thinking doomsday, worst case scenario, that we don't need MR15 anymore. Play less rounds of CS as
MR13? MR12, sorry?
Let's just play 5 rounds like Call of Duty, shall we?
Can we not?
I'm being facetious, everybody.
Can we? Oh.
Okay, so they're going to isolate Adrenaline long now. So here we go. Flash is going to come through. It's going to be a 3-on-1 situation. If he can go big here, he's an absolute god at anchoring this position because he's locked Renegades out time and time again. The blue bin, he's changed up his role. He's changed up his position. They are going to clear it. This time, he gets nothing. I think Adren's done a lot to this. And now, JKS. Does he expect a second? I don't think he will.
Don't think it matters. 5-on-2. Olaf can get that kill. That's fine. They now know he's over toward B because now, in that information alone, they know Rain all by his lonesome nearly gets a double dink as they lined up for him. So even though you're right, JKS wasn't ready for 2, his death was still information enough. And should be the round. 9-6. Good turnaround from Renegades.
Yeah, really bounced back into this one. Obviously the first round, the bounce back didn't really come towards fruition until the CT side kicked off. But here they never gave up. They were being dictated to for a lot of this, right? We saw those 4-man leans over towards long, locking them down. We saw 3-man B stacks coming out to be split, but they still find solutions. Zoloff, he's trying to find one against all odds. That grenade, it's perfect. The Molotov as well. This does become possible, but the bomb will explode. I get excited for absolutely no reason.
It's the last round, so he was going for the ace anyway, but yeah, it's too far gone. Renegades gonna get their 6th. Decent little nade. I did like that little lob.
So I think we can point out here players with impact once more. So Gratisfaction and Azza may only have 5 and 4 kills respectively, but we saw Gratisfaction with 2 big kills on a round where he killed Nico over towards platform, went out mid to B and killed Guardian towards window, or it was Rain, one of which, or could have even been Olaf actually with the AWP, I believe it was Olaf. We had that other round where they was a 4-on-5 situation against Renegades. They've gone up long, they've pounced across, and Azza's had 2 big AK kills to open the site. So those are rounds that have been won, and when they only get 6 on the board, and they've only had that few frags, you can see what that impact actually means to the overall scoreline. Sure, you can be like, yeah, well, maybe if they got more kills in other rounds, there would be more rounds on the board. Well, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
What happened is they had impact individually in 2 separate rounds, and that contributed to 2 rounds out of the 6. So FaZe, once again, they're impressing me because in the early stages, they look very well organized. They're making good decisions. It's not just the cookie cutter, go and hold, use your protocol nades and out aim. They're doing a lot of things right. So starting to get a little bit excited about FaZe Clan. Nico smoking a Molotov in hand. Everybody else will have the utility. Azza with a smoke and, diffuse kit and 2 flashes. So both in-game leaders having to be the utility bitches for their team. That feeling I know too well. JK's going to get up close and personal towards Dark. He's going to have a lot of players to deal with.
Certainly is. Draft's already started to wall. Jacob down. Now they know they are coming out from B. He got the information. He got the call. He relayed it to JKS. He got 2, but Adren responds, and with the Molotov inside of the window, Gratisfaction has no choice but to back away. Low HP on Azza. This isn't done. Not with Nico alive either. Jumping in the low HP. He's going to pull the aim away, and somehow they turn it around. Gratisfaction and Azza. It's now 9-7. Renegades immediately are back into this game.
What a call to make on low HP. You know the bomb side is given up. You know that they're definitely going to have positions of advantage. And to surprise them by pushing in like that with 2 players who are bleeding internally, just a couple of bullets to the Glock and they're going to fall. Wow. Absolutely phenomenal stuff there from Renegades. I love the heads-up play. I love the aggression. Never back down mentality. That's coming out here. Finally starting to see, you know, the true ability of some of these players, especially JKS. You know, there was a period of time he was just known for his clutching ability. He was known as a bomb site anchor, but now he's just a menace. He's been playing fantastic Counter-Strike, sitting at 15 kills.
Oh my god! 98 damage, and even hit him to do damage before detonating. That might be one of the most powerful grenades you'll ever see. I love that we followed it the whole way. Great deserving as well. As Grat gets 1, but only 1. Olaf's still making a case for this. It's a 1-on-2. And he has the bomb. He could make this extremely awkward. Jacob knows that he can rotate back in the map, so he tries to divide it by going straight up the gut. He'll spot him in spawn.
Oh, there's a chance.
There is. And they'll shuffle by rotating JKS back to mid to make sure he doesn't go back the other way. Olaf has gotten to the tunnels, but he could swing under. Oh my, if he goes lower right now.
Yeah, there are gaps.
It's not even the gap. It's that JKS wasn't looking that way. He is now. Still got a headshot onto him, but it was through the wall.
So just to note, Matt, we're just talking about JKS and his impact. Right now in the tournament, who do you think the highest rated player is? Easy one.
You just said JKS or JKS? Simple.
Simple, there you go, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
under Simple is JKS, and that includes the first map against FaZe of Train. So Simple is sitting at a 1.45 rating after 8 maps. JKS is sitting at a 1.37 rating after 6. That doesn't include this game of Dust2 right here. And Zywoo, he's coming in at that third position at a 1.35 rating.
Yep.
So yeah, JKS is definitely feeling, well, his presence is being felt across the board in all the matches that Renegades are playing thus far. Now the AKs will come out, FaZe Clan with the weapon advantage after that one got a little bit dicey. MP9 for Liaz playing the anchor position. He's going to use the Flames to push on in and look for information. Now he can drop back, but he doesn't realize that 4 players are about to be in his face.
Good flashes, Lias inside, but he's got support. Transfaction, who was out in the corner. Nico gets him instead. Somehow Azza turns it around. He gets 3. It's now a 2-on-2 because they lost both at long, and Azza steps up enormously to bring it back into a winnable situation. It still very much is. Gap in the smoke, they jump across. Guardian gets toward the A site, and along with him, Olaf is already in position to defend him as he puts the bomb down. Nice nade though. Guardian again, the one to take the damage from it.
They do have a molly here though, Matt, on Olaf.
Yeah, absolutely. He's taken 146 damage from grenades in the last 2 rounds.
They're repositioned. They're both going to come from Catwalk here, and they have flashes, so the jewels is what this is going to come down to.
Guardian peeks out, timing getting low. But you're right, they've got that kit, and they're getting closer, but that closer means crossfire set up. JKS with 1, looks to trade, and he will. He turns it back, gets Olaf. He'll pick up the kit.
Oh my god.
And yeah, he has done it, 9-9.
Renegades are making so many good micro decisions. They knew that they spotted a player towards CT spawn, so they have to worry about that position. They both regroup towards Catwalk. The first flash comes over, forces Guardian off the line. He's not expecting a second. That one lands, blinds him up completely. Still has an opportunity to take a jewel, but how does JKS pivot and get that second kill? Oh my god, by the skin of their teeth, Renegades have now tied things up. 9-9, and they are looking very threatening here. You can see the scores right now. Rain, huge impact in that first half. 20 frags to his name, 18 for Olaf, 12 for Guardian. Nico, I said that he's normally the highest rated player for FaZe Clan on this map. He's only sitting there at 10. Dren with 11. He did some good work over towards long, but he wasn't actually needed for that many rounds, especially on that CT side, having to retake several times. You can see the frag leaders going toe-to-toe here in terms of their stats. Rain is leading the way with frags, assists, and doing a much better job on the entry or opening kills. But that's easy when they're coming your way on that B-bomb side, right? JKS is more the lurker. He's not necessarily a first-in kind of player. That's reserved for Jacob, Azza, obviously Gratisfaction with the AWP. So, poof, here we go. AK's out. No AWP on the side of Renegades. So they do have 4 scopes. None of them will be the big green. It's quite an even round.
Go. Does get up on top of Catwalk. That's good because Rain's already opened up the A site. Now they can all work together in that direction. Should they like to do so, they want to slow it down. Take the time with the lead they have. Tries to get a clever little angle on top of the sandbags, but cut off. Yes, gets one back. And smartly looks toward long, but can't convert as Adren wins the exchange. That should be the round. It's going to be a save over toward the B site. So FaZe maintain or hold on, regain the lead, reclaim the lead, 10-9.
FaZe should hunt, definitely. They should apply a lot of pressure here and see if they can take these guns away, because Renegades will get that reset. Yeah, nice shot from Nico there, taking down JKS. It's just Jacob to find towards the back of platform, and as the bomb ticks on down, they get closer and closer. They're going to find him.
Yep.
Just whether or not he can convert these into kills or if he's just going to get flattened. Nico will take the next important hunt there because the money for Renegades, the most they have is 2450 on Liaz. Everybody else sitting at around 400. And when I say around 400, I mean 1400. Azza will have a scout, and he's going to be able to buy armor behind that. I think that was actually dropped across to him. So they want to continue to fight for this because there would be a double eco that would have to ensue anyway. So they want to continue the brawling, continue the fighting. And when we think back to that round, JK, sure, he did clutch a big situation there, but it was actually Azza with a 3-man long spam down from the A ramp that was, I guess, the real winner or the real factor to even give them an opportunity back into this. Tagged up early is Nico, but they barreled up Cat quickly. Liaz laying up close and personal. He's going to pick one out. Not able to land any damage here, but he's still hanging around. There is a second flash on Gratisfaction. Is it going to come on in? It will, but too little too late as Liaz has dropped off the ledge. Now FaZe have to consider their options here. They know there's a scout. They know there's at least a deagle with another player flashing. And Azza, he'll find success over towards long. So, ooh, there's a bit of blood in the water now.
Nico waiting. Missed the chance to catch the cross.
They can push long and get this AK for free, and they have. Gratisfaction's picked it up with a Molotov. This would be heartbreaking for FaZe. Surely not like this.
Would be exactly what the doctor ordered for Renegades. Still holding with the scout. Needs to be aware of what's above. Molotov down. That's going to push Liaz further down the ramp. As alone as a result. Gets the tag, but drops down. Guardian follows up to get Gratisfaction. The tag is significant. If they could convert, there's 2 with low HP, but the pistols can't find it. With Olaf on Cats collecting the, was collecting the rotations. At least gets it down to a 3-on-2. Low HP on 2, though. This, I don't think it's going to happen, but has a chance. I think the AK saved is more valuable, but Nico's already on top of that.
Yeah, I think they were counting their lucky stars. They're even able to hold onto that AK after everything fell apart on the A bomb site. If Gratisfaction was able to connect anything from that car position, then it was a round. They did a good job of softening them up, as they did a great job of finding a kill, but FaZe, they didn't wince. They didn't waver, and they stuck with their plan, and they used their superior weaponry, armor, and utility to make a round which, for one point, looks very scary. An easy conversion up to 11, and now, for sure, it should be 12, as Renegades are left with just over 2k per player. Grenade's been brought in with Azza, so maybe more will follow suit. Nope, it's just the in-game leader who's getting the HE out. JKS is going to be kept on notice as he jumps across. Guardian tagging him through the door, down to 27 points of health. Yeah, USPs on Dust2. Not a likely combination for winning. It's a similar fashion, Matt, just quickly to what we saw on that first map, right? It felt like Renegades, they bounced back, and then they got lost a couple, then they bounced back again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is shades of it all over again with a better halftime score as well. This is where the bonus needs to build for Renegades. Rain and Nico, each around the corner with Guardian's help. It's off just to hold off the door, make sure no one can push through. Certainly not a horde of pistols. Ball planted on A. Most of the CTs over toward B. They'll start to cross back. If they can get one gun, it might be significant. Likely at this point. Azza is in a bit of a spot, shall we say. That's smoke down. I think Olaf would even check it if he walked up. Guardian comes around. Rain from the other side. Does Olaf know now? He doesn't. Surely he's got to figure it out. Where's he gone? There he is. Smoke down. There was a smoke there for a reason. So 12-9. FaZe still in control, but guns back out now on the Renegades side. Opt for Gratisfaction. Og already in the position as well with both Jacob and Azza. Dust2, brawly map. Let's get into it. Let's get those brawls going. Guardian waits for the jump in the back lines. It happened, but he was looking low. 2 players get across.
Oh, I love this from FaZe.
JKS fake it back and trying to hold off the door. He's a split across the map with bomb rotating back through T-spawn.
Wow, that's such a scary position to be put in very early from JKS, and just a defensive flash was all it took. But it does mean that they have to be wary of the mid doors early, and cap presence as well. So a very good job from FaZe here at getting real estate early into the round. And that's forced out a lot of utility from Renegades, who we can see only have a smoke and a flash left in the hands of Liaz. They have long control. They have fear of mid presence. They know that there's action on cat. They actually have to take a fight. They have to go aggressive somewhere, and they're about to be forced into it over here.
That gives Liaz the chance to walk back out. He gets 2. 1 better is exactly where it sits. That's the only flags so far, all on catwalk, and that's got a lot of positional control from the CTs. Down below, there's 2 more coming from the same position to watch the cross at long. Big gap in the smoke. So a run boost in order. It's Nico they want to send. That's not the bomb. Bomb will stay on the long side. Run boost actually, just to peek above it. They wanted to peek above it to see catwalk. JKS gets 2. Smoke must have been fading. Both of those came through where the smoke was positioned, but they were near enough to the corner that it could have favored him. And he follows it for a 3rd. It's 12-10.
I was just singing the praises of FaZe. I thought they did a really good job there of making Renegades sweat, right? You think about how much pressure is applied to you when you don't have a huge amount of utility. It means you can't use protocol nades. You're really scared of rushes, especially if you're getting caught out of position. Like a mid to be like that, when you just gun straight down the mid corridor. Wow. Okay, we're going to get JKS's replay just here, I think. So he's just spammed on through, killed Guardian back towards the car, and then got lucky with the follow-through. He's just held the trigger down, finishes off the 3rd. So, yeah, a lucky spam or intuition, one of the 2. Again, they'll do a similar thing. They know that this mid-to-B corridor is left open. And Rain getting up there when they want to rotate back, Azza will be one of the danger men who has to come through CT spawn. Cool enough, Rain's already out of there. Mate, if I'm getting mid that early, I'm probably hanging around for a little bit longer.
Trying to get some spam through the smoke. Free to cat. Will be the furthest one up. Has a smoke to put behind the box as well to try and get in a little further. First, he'll bounce an aid down to cover off CT. That'll have been spotted by Grat, so they know there's a presence on catwalk, but pretty safe to assume that there normally is. Flash catches Rain off completely, but no one's in a position to peek. It's just an annoying flash more than anything. Just annoying. Seems that they can bait out a reaction from it. Smoke's above and below. Yep, it is. Rain's already down. He's in CT as well, and I don't think they're aware of it. 2 out mid. They could split B at this point in time. JKS downed already by a Dren. Great setup from FaZe. Jacob, he's alone in the site. Flash over. Olaf toward the window. Walks in. Gets spotted. Bomb down. Inside of the site, the Dren's already wrapped up on top of the platform, and it's just Liaz remaining. He's covered off by Rain. Good recovery from FaZe. 13-10. 3 to go for them. Thankfully, I would say, not the reset, but there wasn't a lot built up on the Renegades side, and they'd spent so much last round that they'll sit with not a lot to work with. I think you pretty much have to save here. Maybe bring out a few pistols at the best case.
Well, it's not looking good now. We've seen a couple of miraculous rounds come out from the Renegades.
You're only getting 1900 that round, so.
Yeah, cruel mistress at this point in the game as FaZe have realized the default hold from Renegades quite early. They've been exploiting all the territory that they can take. And now it's going to be maybe too late for Renegades to adjust. Because even if they want to play on catwalk or they want to have, you know, maybe double off so they can be a little bit more aggressive in middle, maybe go for an upper dark push, something along those lines, FaZe Clan are going to be considering all of those options. They know that they can only get away with this for so long. We are on board with Jacob right now as he's about to have a member over the top of him, and somehow neither player was aware that that was a possibility. So
I would have thought Jacob would have heard that.
would have thought that Olaf would have cleared straight down, but
Yeah.
either way.
Fair enough. Both relevant points. 14 rounds still looking to be the case.
Yeah, indeed. So round number 24 looks like it's going to be more than...
Oh, how does that miss? Hit the wall to the left of the arch. He must have started moving before he shot or scoped out too soon. Pistol still works out. JKS goes down. And with that, not much more to really do at this point. Just find Azza, and I think Nico will.
Map number 3 will be Inferno, assuming we get there, and that's looking more and more likely now with that 14th round on the board. So this is where you look back to the major, where Renegades were able to beat FaZe and the Swiss in the best of 1. It was 16-14 on Inferno. Azza with 27 kills leading the way for his team in that matchup. So in a game of 16-14, that's the tiniest of margins. Here, it doesn't feel that Gratisfaction's been able to get going with the AWP. And I wouldn't say that it's necessarily, you know, JKS has been let down by his teammates. He's just done some very filthy things. Been able to win some rounds that maybe he shouldn't. The ult will come out. More ult to follow, and there we go. So there's aggressive cap presence. They know they can't keep giving it up for free, and Gratisfaction will find the kill. So the adjustment has been made, but is it enough? It felt like Adren was flirting with the idea of going for this long duel, right? We spoke about the same alternative in the first half where Adren was the solo pit player, and when they knew that there was cat aggression, that you could isolate one player over towards long. Now that Gratisfaction is relocated, he's going to get another shot. The Molotov's going to land. Burning it. Millisecond later, and he might have landed that kill on terrain, but now that information has been removed from the Renegades system. Ooh, he wants to continue forward. Flash will come in. This is dangerous.
So waiting. Og just swing out, wants to get an angle, but just costs him indecision, and then he's just left sitting in the open for Rain. Liaz has to roll back to long as a result of it. He can't find Rain either, who goes down to 37 HP.
Adren's coming as well.
And this could be that point. Molotov's going to force him back in at no man's land. He's got to the baskets. Thankfully for his sake, no one pushes through, but you're right, Adren's out toward long. They are going to go this way eventually. Can he catch them off before Adren spots? I don't think so. I think he has to know that he's gone that far. Surely they're going to look straight into this corner. As a result, he gets one, but that should be all he's good for. The flash coming through. Olaf answers the call. JKS gets on the ramp after they've already crossed, but JKS is sitting in the open for Adren. Did find Olaf ahead of time, so a 1-on-2, but Jacob pretty much has to win this. 6 seconds. Bomb's just barely going to get in position. He's not close enough, Jacob, to do anything about it. And this should be map point for FaZe, but 1-on-2s have been won many times. He's got a kit to work with. Underneath 5 barrels, spots Nico. Those will absorb most of the bullets, however. And Jacob's waiting for the response that's going to garner from his teammate. Now knows they're both in one position. High flash will at least give him the confidence to peek. Doesn't go fast enough. They look away. Damage was there, and it was near enough. 2 HP and 28. That's what they survive with, but it is map point.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, should be the game. FaZe Clan bouncing back on their own map choice here, so we will be going the distance. We will get all the rounds, all the maps at least. As Renegades, they have to buy whatever they can. 2 scouts, 1 for Azza, 1 for Gratisfaction, a shotgun in the hands of Jacob. You can see Liaz and JKM, UMPs. Wanting to be aggressive towards middle with that scout, continuously picking his Azza, and he's going to get punished. You can only pick Guardian so many times before he's going to land some damage on you. Still trying to flash and still trying to be a bit of a problem, but now that he's on 30 HP, much more susceptible to going down through the doors. And on this last round, FaZe haven't actually gone for the win and the cat control as quickly as what they did in the previous. So we will be expecting them to respect Renegades a little bit more because they know that there's a chance for more aggressive players on the last round of the game. This is what you see from a lot of teams. You know, you either go for an all-in, you just rush somewhere and try and get it done and dusted straight away, or you... There's the spam. Through the spam. Azza will fall. Take your time and you wait for teams to make mistakes like that.
Liaz wants to work back onto Cat. 3 defenders there. Good flash for the UMP. Only good for 1. Nearly snapped back to find a second. Drops position for Gratisfaction. Wants to try and get that scout all the way back around to long before Nico gets around the corner, and does. He'll call where he's gone. The AK spotted JKS, but Gratisfaction got him. Smoke came out, took the vision away from Nico. He'll be frustrated by that. Did the AK drop down? I don't think it did. Adren has anchored in pit.
Oh. Okay. Well, they have no idea he's there. Gratisfaction's about to get killed in the back any second now.
Jacob, shotgun.
Yeah,
AK down. They know Adren's on the site, and Rain will plant the bomb. That gives away the position for the other two players. So the AK picked up. Adren's gone back out toward long to hold this. This could be interesting.
There's no kid in play here, so...
And no smoke.
Yeah.
Smoke diffuse at that range, you might be able to hold him at bay, but Rain's just going to wait it out, and the fact that you say no kit means time is a factor. Grat's got the AWP. AK as well. They might be better to save them, but they've got to go. They've got no choice because it's round 15, so JKS gets one. Adren, immediate shot back. He's got a smoke. He has picked up a smoke. He doesn't have a kit, though. I don't think there's enough time for 10, is there? Oh, this is tight. That smoke changes everything.
No
the
way.
fact that he found it, the fact that he's got it, he just barely pulls it off, and we're not done yet.
How on earth does that happen?
He's so lucky to find that smoke.
Oh, buy a lotto ticket, Grat. You don't get one of them every day, mate. You can see the smile on the face there. Even he's a little bit astonished that that's how that one unfolded. As you mentioned, we're not done yet, so Renegades on round number 27 will get a chance to buy back in. They seem to have done more with less. Saw them win some scrappy rounds in the first half with low buys. UMP for Azza. He's the only one with the lion's share of utility. Everybody else has rifles, but not a lot to go with it. It's going to be a fast play out towards long, and it can't really be stopped. It can't be answered back. They have to win with aim, and, well, that's not a good position for them to find themselves in. Azza struggling to get around the corner there. Eventually will do so. They have to boost up into the site, but they have to do more. They have to find multi-kills in this situation, and with long control in the hands of FaZe very early. Olaf lurking. He's been doing a fantastic job mitigating any rotations from this position. He has a chance to get more. Renegades need information. They need to go for fights. The long cross is coming in, so there we go. It is a round later than we expected, and I am going to call this one right here. I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm not going to believe that. Okay.
Thank you, Chad.
I'm sorry.
Commentator's curse, low HP, this is on.
How does this keep happening?
Two players with Augs, no kits yet again, but that didn't seem to matter last time. No smoke yet again. That did make a difference when they picked one up. Adren once more is the one to anchor long. They've got to go. Nico's got car. I think that's the difference in this. He can control when and if he peeks. Smoke down won't let him see necessarily towards CT. Jump shot hit. Rain's been tagged by it. Wants to do it again, but now he's being stared at. JKS gets it. Trade. It's got to go.
It's done.
It's done. Bomb's too far gone. Nico's tagged up. Jacob knows he's playing for consolation at this point, and at 16-11, we go to a third map.
You could see the look of relief on Nico's face there as they eventually closed that one out. So, yeah, look, FaZe, very commanding once again. They had a great opening half. Renegades kept them a bit honest. They were able to put together 6 rounds on the board to close things out. They didn't give up the fight. And then as we move on to the second half, just the ability to take mid control, take cat control without too many consequences. The lack of a double op setup coming out from Renegades meant that territory was free for FaZe in a lot of these occasions. And they're going to take their map choice and take us through to Inferno. Yeah,
not bad at all. Inferno's a good one to end on, as we always talk about. It's just a great map that everyone plays.
Yeah, lots of good reasons. Retakes, clutches, utility, nades, headshots.
I don't even know who I favor. I think both teams have put enough on the table for me to be convinced. FaZe hold on narrowly, but Renegades still had a comeback in that game. Obviously did on the first. I kind of want to still lean toward FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe is going to win.
You love to do that.
Yeah. Let's see what the Dust thinks after the break.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
I'll take that. Yes. Hells yes. Oh, armed and dangerous. Oh, hell yes.
Hellcase. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Place your bets at gg.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at gg.bet.
FaZe Clan dominating the catwalk will be the story that is remembered here on Dust2, able to put Renegades in the dirt. That is right. They have secured the second map, and we will be moving to a third of Inferno, but not before you hear from us here on this analyst desk alongside of Maniac and Thorin, and we're going to try to walk you down what was the path that the FaZe Clan put Renegades on.
Well, it started really as a, I would say, continuity of training in terms of like individual skill. FaZe started firing on all cylinders, mostly Rain. He was amazing at the beginning, he was amazing the whole map, right? But FaZe went on a tear, 8-1 lead. Then actually Renegades fight back, and it was a team effort, I would say, in terms of entry fragging. Both Azer, JKS, obviously, even Gratisfaction, they really put a lot of impact. So they came back into the game. They really had a shot. They win the second pistol round. You think that's it? They've done it. They win the first gun round. Azer was amazing. JKS continuing his monster performance, but then it just crumbles. And mostly what could be frustrating for Renegades was, I think it was only about the catwalk situation. FaZe had it all the time. Rain was supreme, and Gratisfaction never really stood his ground with the op.
And the reality of this is we saw them time and time again try to use a pop flash to get a teammate there and maybe grab 2 frags. Not always the case, though. It seemed as though that had been exhausted to all effort.
Well, look at the difference, okay? All the highlights, okay? Nico's here with an AWP on the catwalk. Yeah, they play passive on the other sites, but they lock off that middle area. So at least as a result, you know, can they do a split to mid? Can they go into B? You have a sense for that. The Renegades guys just played off the whole time. It's like they thought they were just going to be gifted the game by the guys from FaZe Clan. And obviously the guy who really has changed things up is Rain, because Guardian, okay, he's hit and miss. Nico, you know, is going to turn up generally, but Rain's the guy's been missing, at least coming into this year. We hadn't seen him in the FaZe Clan doing much at all, actually. So that's one of those ones, actually, where I wonder. It's very easy to like bag on Nico and say what a bad job he's doing. Like on this one, for example, they didn't have any tactics. They just went catwalk a million times, shot people in the head with AKs. But at the same time, when players regain form, sometimes you've changed up what they do a little bit, or you've instilled some confidence in them, or maybe you've changed up the order of when they go in a site. I don't know what it is, but as an entry player, I mean, Rain was tearing them up today, as you see in these clips right now.
I mean, you talk about instilling confidence, and putting the confidence back in Rain would be the fact that he rocked the most kills, 31. He rocked the most damage, 120.3 ADR. That's a boatload, we'll just say it that way. And we could talk about him also having the most opening kills. But in all reality, this was his playground. He ran around this entire map doing whatever he wanted the entirety of the time. Also to note that JKS having another performance here from the side of Renegades. Something about him rolling and stargazing,
Got me stargazing, at least. Exactly. No, the thing is, when you saw him in this game, if they went B, he'd tear you up. Yeah, we're getting 1 million kills. If in this scenario, I think one of the mistakes Renegades made here is if they're not that great a Dust2 team, in that kind of a scenario where you've had the same look from FaZe Clan over and over again when they're on the T side and it's working for them, switch up some of the positions.
Have to.
Swap someone else into that spot, because Azer wasn't winning those long-range duels in that scenario. Liaz was on his own half the time by the time they got in the site. Like, there was a big difference between a very simple A execute for the guys from Renegades, and FaZe kind of literally just walking up and shooting people with AKs.
Oh, definitely. Azer both and Gratisfaction, I think, didn't really stood their ground. It's usually when you play a simple style of Counter-Strike, as FaZe did, you look for Gratisfaction with the op to punish that. Device would punish that. You cannot just peek Catwalk and make the difference. And another factor that I think Renegades could have done better is actually push a little bit on that B side. FaZe were not exploiting these B tunnels at all. So if you know they're going time and time again on A, then push a little bit, get the information, then you can afford to play 4 or 3.5 towards A side, but they never did. So they never knew what was happening.
Yeah, push into that empty space. Push into there, and maybe you push it one time, you get punished for it. Yep. But again, what you're doing is the definition of insanity, because it's not working, and you're going to continue to keep doing it over and over and over again. Whereas the success was found by Rain and the side of FaZe, who found their way up Catwalk time and time again. And you're exactly right, though. Gratisfaction didn't necessarily have a showing here to be remembered. -14 on the KD. Plus, just not impact overall that you would expect or really want to see from the side of Gratisfaction.
No, it's not really
this map. It's Dust2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not really just numbers, right? You could have a low amount of kills, but you've been really impressive and you had clutches and stuff. But the problem was where the action was happening and his role in that supposed defense that was just missing. When you, as I said before, when you have a team that's just banking on one simple pop flash and peeking Catwalk trying to make the difference, this is where an Opera is supposed to stop you. That's not a card you can play 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and he wasn't doing it.
There we go.
Ouch.
5 kills.
At this point, he's actually living up to what I think of him. Which I see him, I just see happy and someone's drawn a mustache on the photo.
A
the
few
old
years
happy,
ago.
of course,
a few years
back before the cheeseburgers.
Jesus. Well, I like the cheeseburger.
So does he. That's the problem.
Anyway, look, point being, 10 kills for the side of Gratisfaction. Guardian doing what Guardian had to do, but ultimately this was the showing for Rain. He was really showing out here across Dust2, which brings us to Inferno, the third and final installment of the series. Went the full distance here. Had to do it to him. Maybe we'll get some bonus rounds. We know that Inferno can be played very slow, and we know that both of these teams can really kind of use that to an advantage or even a disadvantage, depending how you look at it.
The question for me is, because obviously you see here, it's been one of the better maps for the FaZe clan. Even when they're losing, they're getting a lot of rounds against teams that can play the map. They've obviously already played Renegades when it was back at the major. 14-16 game there. The key question for me, it's on FaZe clan. If someone like Rain's going to turn up like that, if Guardian and Nico are in the game, forget tactics. You can get rounds out of that. You can make magic happen. But if we're going to play proper Counter-Strike, and this is a map for proper Counter-Strike, if we're going to play a team play on the CT side, this is where Renegades should be able to ignore everything on Dust2, come through and show that they're the better team overall.
Yeah, I agree. I think the playing field now definitely does not allow for so many individual differences. Obviously, Inferno, a very tactical map. I also think that the repetitive kind of Counter-Strike that FaZe put up on Dust2 is not necessarily going to work on Inferno. You need to be a little bit innovative, you need to be aggressive, get the information, maybe fight for that banana side. So, but the other question on the side of Renegades is, do they have it in themselves to bounce back? They had that 2-0 possibility on the cards, they lost it. Can they come back? It would be like a new challenge for them. We shall see.
This is actually reminiscent of what we already saw from ENCE, where, ENCE is looking like one of the better teams in the world. They've got this nice map pool, but the problem is the map pool of the maps you like is really great, but you have these weaknesses where if someone goes into them, Dust2, Cash, it's the same for both teams if you notice. Those are the maps where the teams with the more skilled players, the superstar aimers, they can just get a map right back. You did all that work to win the first map, they just come back and smash you on the skill map, and now you got to win it on the third. So you're still under a bit of pressure, even though you're supposed to be a better team.
Pressure's on you. Who wins, Duncan?
The thing is, FaZe clan, each map have surprised me so far. They've really turned up with more than I expect, but I still think I'll side with Renegades. My bias is always the more tactical team. I think it levels out. I still saw some good play from them on Dust2. I think they get Inferno.
Okay, Matthew?
For the same reason, that would be Renegades. I just don't see how individual difference is going to make such a difference on Inferno. I think the map is just too tactical for it. I mean, we've seen Vitality just throw everything out the window and rush. Let's see, maybe FaZe going to do that, but I would still side with Renegades.
Well, you can side where you want to, and now would be the time to choose what side, because we're about ready to jump into Inferno, and not before another break. So when we come back, it's going to be the boys that are going to be trying to lock it down here on the last map of this series over FaZe Clan. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
right, want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
I'll take that. Yes. Hells yes. Oh, armed and dangerous. Oh, hell yes.
Hellcase. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.